Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about Nintendo Switch emulation with KenjiNX. KenjiNX is a fork of Ryujinx, and it just got a brand new update. So at the time of filming, version 2.0.2 is the latest update, and this update has some fixes and changes. It solves playability ruining issues by merging left and right Joy-Cons into a single virtual controller. There's now an option in the UI to automatically hide the UI when the game launches, and it now prevents the controller from being unselected in input config every time the emulator is launched. Next up, we're talking about the highly anticipated Mafia: The Old Country. This game is set to release sometime in 2025. Over on Steam, there's no current release date. Or is there? The game's release date may have been leaked. So this one was spotted over on a Spanish Steam post on the official Game Hub, and it said that Mafia: The Old Country is set for release on August 8th. And speaking about leaks, this could be something, it could be nothing, so just take it with a grain of salt and don't hold your breath. Now, if you're interested in learning more about it, like everything we talk about, links are in the description below right at the bottom. I don't hide my sources. So this is being talked about in a bunch of different places, and here's a post over on PC Gamer. Valve Deckard, a long-rumored standalone VR headset, might not be too far off if these leaked shipping manifests are legit. We're gonna have to wait and see on this one, but at the same time, here where there's smoke, there may be fire. But we've been saying that about Half-Life 3 for years, so who the heck knows? I guess they've been tracking this for a while, tracking Valve to importing stuff to manufacture VR headsets and all of that. Just be patient. And speaking about Valve and, well, rather Steam here and stuff that's getting a lot of attention. Next up, we're talking about Blueprints, which is a brand new indie game that has just dropped that seems to be very well received. Over on Steam right now, it's got a very positive review score, but it's got one endorser you might be surprised with. Now, this may not be surprising if you know who this is, because it's Local Thunk, the person behind Balatro and very vocal supporter of indie games. Local Thunk says, Blueprints is already one of the best games I've ever played, and I still feel like I'm scratching the surface. Released today, but lucky me, I've been playing it all week. Perks of the job. Furthermore, Local Thunk seems to be throwing their weight around in a very good way, I would say. So Jeff, as in Jeff Keighley, as in Jeff behind the Game Awards. Local Thunk says, Jeff, my man, I better see a Blueprints as a Game of the Year nominee at the Game Awards this year. Seriously though, read any review on the game, the first commercial release from the studio no less. Very excited for them. So if you're a fan of mysteries, if you're a fan of adventures, if you're a fan of ever-changing strategy puzzle adventures, this one may be up your alley. It seems to be very interesting, and one game I will be checking out. I mean, Local Thunk I'm a big fan of because of Balatro, and if they're recommending checking out a game, I'm probably going to listen. Taking a look on Steam right now, the game is 10% off and isn't very expensive at all. If you've played Blueprints, let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below and whether or not it is worth picking up. I'm going to assume it is. And it's also listed as Steam Deck playable, which is a huge win in my book because I don't normally purchase games anymore that are not compatible with the Steam Deck. And speaking about Steam stuff, next up, if you're a fan of Team Fortress, you might be a fan of this. I'm assuming you're going to be a fan of this. Team Fortress 2 Legacy. This is not released yet. It's set to release in 2025, and they say here Team Fortress 2 Legacy is a project that provides some post-2008 and pre-release Team Fortress 2 features on pre-2008 Team Fortress 2 gameplay. Moving on, and we're talking about Nintendo, and it appears that Nintendo is at it again. So here is the title. Nintendo requests delisting a VTuber stream over suspected use of hacked Pokemon cartridge. Keyword is suspected. So based on my understanding, the VTuber was trying to find a shiny Mew in Pokemon Emerald, and they were trying to do this via an old C-map. Now, the old C-map is not available on every single Pokemon Emerald cartridge, only a select few. And that's because the old C-map was given out at a Japanese Pokemon convention in 2005. So if you don't have a cartridge that came into contact with the Japanese Pokemon convention in 2005, chances are you're not going to have an old C-map, unless you've got some sort of hack cartridge or a ROM hack or something like that. So anyways, here the VTuber bought a whole bunch of Pokemon Emerald cartridges, used ones, in hopes of finding Mew. And it turns out one of the plethora of cartridges they bought had Mew, and they were A-OK. Well, A-OK in the sense of getting Mew, but I guess not A-OK from Nintendo's playbook. So Nintendo is suspecting that cartridge was hacked and that Mew is illegitimate, and the whole stream, I guess, is illegitimate. I don't know what's going to happen here, but at the same time, whether or not it was hacked is one thing. I don't know why Nintendo would delist a stream over a hacked Pokemon cartridge, a used one that they bought used somewhere. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. I'm assuming this is not the end of the story, or maybe it is the end of the story. Taking a look at the article here in the last paragraph, I do recommend checking out the article. They say, in response to Nintendo's request, Cover Corp has apologized to fans and assured them, in addition to making the video private, the company will take more precautionary measures and raise awareness among their staff and talents in order to prevent any similar incidents. Well, there you have it. And speaking about stuff that's controversial, next up we're talking about Ubisoft. I don't think this one is going to be met with a lot of positivity, and it's being reported over on Video Games Chronicle. Ubisoft says players suing over the crew shutdown shouldn't have expected to own the game forever. I'm pretty sure we've talked about the overall case on the channel before, with the players feeling misled they bought licenses as opposed to thinking they actually bought the game, and buying licenses that could be revoked at any time. There's way more to it. That's at a very high level, but it is being reported that Ubisoft is trying to get this court case thrown out, saying that players have had no expectation they were purchasing unfettered ownership rights in the game. We're going to have to wait and see on this one, but I don't think we're going to have to wait too long. It's being reported that Ubisoft has until April 29th to respond. And what I told you is the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole lot to it. I do recommend checking out the article, because the plaintiffs are also claiming that the crew's currency system meets the legal requirements to be considered a gift card. This one could be huge for gamers. And speaking about huge for gamers, next up we're talking about one of the biggest fighting game tournaments of the year, and that is EVO Japan. And 2025 EVO Japan seems to be shaping up pretty darn good. In fact, I'm wearing an EVO shirt. Anyways, here, if you were wondering what games are most popular, Street Fighter 6 is dominating the tournament so far. Now, at the time of filming, sign-up numbers are not even close. So Street Fighter 6 has 6,535 registered participants. Next up is Tekken 8 with not even 1,000. These numbers I'm expecting will grow as time goes on, but at the same time, that is a massive difference between Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8. Now, Street Fighter 6 is relatively new and fresh, and I'm wondering if the prize pool has anything to do with it as well. EVO Japan is occurring between May 9th and 11th of this year. And on a side note here, I'm wondering if Tekken 8's lower perceived registration numbers are because of kind of where it's at in terms of reputation. In the fighting game community, the latest patch, the latest season, has not been very well received. And I would say in the media as well, it's been criticized quite a bit. So I'm curious to see if people are boycotting the game or just not interested in it because of its current state. Next up, if you're a fan of indie games, if you're a fan of cozy games, and if you're a fan of Pocket Pair, the company behind Palworld, you might be a fan of this game here that's up on Steam. It's called Truckful. It's being developed by Mythic Owl and being published by Pocket Pair, the company behind Palworld. Now, I don't know what it is about this game, but I think the game has quite a bit of charm. I like the fact that you can customize vehicles, and I'm very curious to check this one out when it drops. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Again, I don't know the price or release date for it, but at the same time, I may be interested. It seems you've got to deliver some stuff, meet some locals, and I guess solve something. It's a very cozy-ish, charming game, I'm thinking. But moving on, and speaking about stuff that has released and stuff that has a price, arguably a very good price. Next up, this is more of just a heads up. We're talking about the Oddworld Complete Collection. If you're a fan of this, if you're interested in this, it may be the right time to pick it up. It's up on Fanatical right now for about $1, and that is a 99% discount. But moving on, and speaking about friendly heads ups, next up we're talking about one of my favorite Linux distributions. I've been using this one a whole bunch over the last few months, and I absolutely love it. My experience with it has been fantastic, and that's Bazzite. Bazzite is based on Fedora, and it's now an officially supported operating system for Framework. While some people might not be excited about this announcement, I absolutely am. I mean, to see Bazzite being mentioned here in more and more places is very heartwarming for me. Anyways, for the Framework Laptop 13, which features the AMD Ryzen AI 300 series, Bazzite is listed as officially supported. even before stuff like Ubuntu and NixOS and even more. Next up here, this one is pretty interesting. We're talking about Razer, and Razer has announced that Razer PC Remote Play has officially launched. And this one is mostly open source. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm impressed with this announcement for a number of big reasons. Number one, that they did publish the code for this up on GitHub. Number two here, it's not restricted to Razer hardware. This is compatible for basically all Android and iOS compatible controllers. That's what they're saying. On top of that, it is available for Android and iOS. And there's more. They say right here, automatic optimization that takes full advantage of your device's powerful display. Enjoy incredibly sharp, smooth visuals on your device. Razer PC Remote Play automatically optimizes for the device's maximum resolution and refresh rate without locking gameplay to fixed aspect ratios. That is really impressive to me. Yes, it's locked behind Razer Nexus and that kind of stuff, but at the same time here, I mean, this is a pretty good announcement from Razer. And on top of all of that, it's compatible with Steam, Epic Games, PC Game Pass, and even more. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. The only part that I'm disappointed about is that it's only Windows 10 and 11. I don't see Linux on here, at least not yet. And speaking about disappointing, next up we're talking about Nintendo. And this to me is a massive missed opportunity. It's being reported that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Nintendo Switch 2 Edition will not include the DLC. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they release some sort of complete edition to entice people to buy the game? But maybe I'm off base on that one. Maybe I'm out in left field and completely off with that take. But I really think Nintendo should have included that with the Enhanced Edition. It would just make so much more sense. I guess for the gamer, it would lose Nintendo money because they wouldn't be having people purchase that DLC. But at the same time here, with the high price, the arguably high price of the console and the arguably high price of these new Switch 2 games, you would think they would probably try to offer something to really entice people. I don't know about this, but to me, I'm extremely disappointed. I think this is a real big missed opportunity. Much like the Welcome Tour not being packaged in with the Switch 2, kind of like Wii Sports was with the Wii. Next up, we're talking about the III initiative, and for those who may be unaware, III stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, and the III initiative just had a real big presentation over on YouTube. Now, I don't know about you, but I found the III initiative for 2025 extremely interesting. There were over 35 announcements, there's a bunch of world premieres, and the games they showcased looked like a lot of fun. They announced a whole bunch of different collabs, like Vampire Survivors Emerald Diorama. BlazBlue Entropy Effect is going to be getting couch co-op, and they're collaborating with Dead Cells. There's a whole bunch more in here, including stuff like Starbirds, Over the Hill, Speedrunners 2, and even more. This is a really cool thing. It's about 45 minutes long. There is some post-show stuff here. And on top of that, everything is time-stamped. I do recommend giving this a watch. And speaking about giving stuff a watch, next up we're talking about BioMenace Remastered. If you're a fan of MS-DOS games, you're probably going to be a fan of this. It is heading to Steam in 2025 at some point, I think Q4 2025, so that's October, November, December, possibly, unless it gets delayed or something. Anyways, if you've never played this game before, you may want to check out some gameplay or at least this reveal trailer. Again, like everything we talk about, links are in the description below right at the bottom. BioMenace Remastered is headed to Steam. It is going to be fully Steam Deck compatible. You can toggle between the original graphics and the new graphics. There's going to be achievements and even more. I'm actually really excited about this one. Unfortunately, I don't know the price. And speaking about interesting and older games per se, last up here we're talking about Point. Point has been designed for the Game Boy. It's up on itch.io. It has released. And in this game, you play as a cursor who has found itself conscious on an abandoned hard drive from the 90s. Now, this game is playable right in the browser. It is super interesting and super weird. But if you like to explore things, if you like more obscure things, this game may be up your alley. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. And I may have a surprise for you in tomorrow's video, I might not. But anyways, we talked about a bunch today. Feel free to discuss anything we talked about in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos, and don't tempt fate, save your state.